heartful thanks to each and every one of you. We are blessed to have your eminent presence with us in our group today, where we have been discussing the learnings of the law of attraction and gratitude practices from the bestseller, The Book Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And these practices, these learnings, the excerpts from the lessons were shared by Ms. Deepa Bhatia ma'am. She is absolutely a stunner, a star speaker of the show. She has taken us through the journey of 4 weeks where she discussed the practices of gratitude with us, and she encouraged each and every participant member to practice these exercises throughout these 20 days of a magnificent period of 28 days in our lives. Today we have with us very eminent speakers, inspirational personalities. We have with us TC Ila, we have with us Dr. Anita Capris. We are so overwhelmed with your presence, and this is how we believe that law of attraction, the power of gratitude is felt and experienced everywhere. It is not the belief of one person, it is the belief of all the beautiful persons on this planet. So here we start our session, and we would love to hear from each one of you. To start with, I would invite Ms. Tanya, TC Ila as her author name is. I'll give an introduction about her to our audience. Tanya Castillo, warm welcome from India. Namaste. And namaste. We are humbled with you. We are humbled with your presence, ma'am.
Me too.
Thank you. For all the viewers, I would like to introduce Ms. TC Ila. She is a fully realized human being enjoying each breath with passion and gratitude. How beautiful experience it is today to have you with us. She is an award-winning international inspirational speaker and author and holds a degree in communication sciences. She is a postgraduate personal trainer specialized in health and fitness, having an experience of over 25 years. She is the founder and mentor of InPassion coaching and currently the chairperson of All Ladies League Portugal. So she has joined us from Portugal. We are really thankful to you. She is a social entrepreneur and a change maker. So welcome, hearty welcome again. We would love to hear from you now.
Oh, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. And the feeling of coming into this space that you have been creating over these last 4 weeks is just so blessed. It is a blessing, real blessing. Thank you. I even have tears in my eyes with the beauty.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are absolutely humbled, thankful, and we are enjoying your presence with us today. There is one good thing that has happened with these virtual platforms, that people are connecting with each other, heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind, and this technology has enabled these connections, right?
Okay. Yes, and that is the advent of technology. Really, many people complain about it, but it's the same thing with everything in life. And basically, introducing the theme of gratitude, we can always choose between living in lack or living in abundance. So if we choose to live in lack, we will have lacking experiences. And that is a way of perceiving and experiencing reality. If we choose to live in abundance, then we will have abundant experiences. It is another way of perceiving and experiencing reality. And gratitude, for me, is not even something that you do. It is an attitude of life. So I would say it's an attitude of grace. Gratitude is living in grace. And that is a way of embracing the real feeling within, because we all have that knowingness that we are cared for, that we are nurtured, that we are loved, and that life is actually very generous. We have that intrinsic feeling, but sometimes we get entertained with the opposite. So these 4 weeks and everything you've been doing and everything you share is a wonderful way for people to shift from one way of perceiving reality to another, and then eventually not even need to do any exercises, because that will become the natural, normal state. Actually, our normal state, if we are connected to the wholeness that we are, is a state of magic and miracles. That is what we are. We are that. But we can only experience that when we allow ourselves to generously receive that which we are generously ready to give. So basically, there is not one thing and the other. If I'm not ready to strip myself off of everything that I think I have, in other words, everything that I think I know, if I am not ready to offer that and say, okay, I am surrendering, I am vulnerable, I am available to discover who I truly am, what it is that I truly am, then I give myself entirely, I receive everything, because
Beautiful.
I'm no longer in the way.
Beautiful. Very, very well explained. You made it simpler. You brought in conviction to all the participants, to all the viewers. And it really, really, each and every word that you said right now made a complete sense to me, that we have to surrender, we have to give completely to receive, we have to believe to receive. So, Tanya, would you like to share any one incident from your life where you felt that power of gratitude worked miraculously and it changed the way of life for you?
That is quite hard, because I live in gratitude 100% of the time. So
so beautiful.
I can't I can't go back to remembering when I didn't, because once you shift your consciousness to that way of being, it is really, really honestly, it's hard for me to go back and see a moment where gratitude changed my life, because gratitude has been my life for at least the last 15 years or whatever. Well, it wasn't my whole life. And before, I used to experience a lot of hardship, a lot of stress, a lot of worries, rushing, striving for things, fighting for things. That was a normal thing for me in my previous way of life, until I felt that's enough. I've had enough of this. I really do feel and believe there has to be another way, because it would not make sense that we come into this life, struggle all along, and then depart. So what I did was, at that moment there, I surrendered. I said, okay, I give up. I don't know. I have no idea. I was actually living quite hard times economically, in relationships, everything. It was all really very complex. And I was like, I have no idea how to get myself out of this. So I started receiving this question, which was from within, this: are you going to fight against or cooperate with? And this, for me, is what giving means. So, are you going to give yourself to this experience, accept it completely, and therefore receive the gift of it? or are you going to keep on fighting against and pushing it away? And I said, well, I've tried that part and I've seen it doesn't work and it only gets me more stuck. So I might as well go into the cooperation mode. And then I started realizing that cooperation, what it meant was cooperating with my intuition, cooperating with my essence, with my soul, with my spirit, with basically God within me, which is within every single other person, which is not another person, is just God being in a different facet. And therefore you start realizing, wait a minute, the world cannot be against me because we're all facets of the exact same thing. How could the world be against me? And so then you start perceiving the difficulties as something that you created in order to evolve in your perception and to come to a point where you say, okay, I've had enough of these experiences. Now show me something else. Basically, playfully, right? At that time, it is not so playful. But anyway, so that's where the shift happens for gratitude. From then on, every single thing that happens with people, with situations, you start shifting into, okay, so I receive this with gratitude. It doesn't seem to be perfectly okay. It doesn't seem to be nice. It doesn't seem to be comfortable. But I know if it weren't something that I need to experience, it wouldn't even be in front of me. So I receive it because it's for me. And then you start receiving and you start realizing, wow, the more I receive all of this, the more I become whole. And then the more I am available for life, for everyone, for everything, just in that state of permanent flow. So you cannot overflow from the wellspring of love if you do not feel worthy of it. So any feeling of lack of self-worth will not allow us to really feel grateful, because we're not grateful for ourselves or for anything else, really. We're always seeing lack of something. So I would suggest changing that button of lack of self-worth into realizing, how can I not be absolutely worthy of every single miracle if I am God also? And this is, every single person is this. Each person can say the exact same phrase, because this is who and what every person and everything in our physical perception is. It is just a physical expression of something that is beyond time and space and constriction and limitation and lack. So therefore, gratitude is a permanent state. Once we shift into it, each breath is received with gratitude. And in such, it shares, it gives love. Each moment is received with gratitude. Each word is shared with gratitude. Each word is received with gratitude. Each thought is perceived with gratitude, not with fight. And if we want to stop the thoughts flowing all the time, well, it's just an act of permanent surrender, gradually, trusting. Because if we are in survival mode, afraid of being attacked or whatever by life or whatever it is that we perceive to be dangerous out there, then we cannot be vulnerable to be grateful, because gratitude immediately shifts into kindness, gentleness, vulnerability. So you see, it really is hard to be grateful if one is fearful. Therefore, releasing lack of self-worth gradually, gently, patiently, not forcing or angry, gently, and releasing fear gently, patiently, one step at a time. Then gratitude is allowed more and more and more. And then it just becomes a state of grace. For me, that is what gratitude is, a state of grace.
Beautiful, beautiful, as beautiful as you are.
Oh,
Tanya,
thank you.
you brought in such a beauty, such a grace in the session today. I am so happy I could connect and hear your perspective, your thoughts on gratitude. I'm so happy, and I'm sure all the participants, viewers would be so happy to hear these thoughts. And these thoughts really bring in so much of conviction, belief in each and every person's mind, how essential it is to be grateful, how essential it is to connect with the thought, with the principle, with the practice, with the essence of gratitude. It's a sense of grace, it's a way of life. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the grace of your presence, every single beautiful one here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ila, for joining us you took out time from your busy schedule. And Tanya, Ila, she made a promise, she made a commitment, whether she'll be here for a short time, but she'll join us today because she connects with the cause, she connects with the thought, and she believes in inspiring people. She is a true inspiration and an inspiring soul. So thank you so much. We can move on to our next guest speaker. We can hear from her as well. What are her thoughts? So we would like Ms. Deepa Bhatia to welcome Dr. Anita Caprice, and we can hear from her thoughts on gratitude.
Dr. Anita Caprice, good morning, a very good morning to you, and welcome to the event. And thank you so very much for joining us all the way from Michigan. It's early morning there, and I can see that bright smile on your face. Introducing Dr. Anita Caprice. She is MSc founder of TAP and 2U movement, and Guy Creative Thought Academy, poetry and music publishing. And she's also empowerment through spoken word poetry, working at, this is an NGO. And on a personal level, Anita is a mom of beautiful twin daughters, 2 beautiful sons, that is in the brackets I've been given as in-laws, and grandmom to precious 5. So I can see that I can see that you're very, very loved person. And also on the professional front, she is a Michigan Unemployment Appeals advocate, an author, a poet, an international spoken word artist, an artist angel, she would like to call herself, and she's the creator of Tap Into You Treasure Map Experience. The SHE, which is basically an acronym, Soul Healing Experience Project, and Tap Into You Self-Recovery Card Game. Wow, amazing. And then Anita is a spiritual counselor and holds a doctorate in metaphysical science. She is credentialized in massage therapy, aromatherapy, and herbalism. She's certified as a meditation practitioner, attuned as an Reiki master. So I've done my Reiki practitioner course. I'm a master Reiki practitioner from the same school of thought, myself as well. And she also has a background in all natural skincare as well. Anita is the recipient of many awards and is affiliated with several organizations. So currently she and her family are raising funds building a school in Burkina Faso, that is in West Africa. I think we all deserve to, we all need to, bow our heads in gratitude for all that she's doing for the society as well. Because when we talk about gratitude, the first level is feeling gratitude for all the things that we have received for ourselves. And then the second step that occurs is that you would like to, share your abundance with the others. So it's not about actually, just having sharing what you have in your pocket, but also be courageous enough to, stand up and say that I am fighting for a cause, and asking for funds for what you believe in. And believe me, once the creator knows that you're going to be basically doing good for his creation, his people, the universe stands by your side in your attempt. That's what I believe in.
Absolutely.
So welcome to this event, and we have such accomplished speakers here, accomplished guest speakers. The first question that I would like to ask Dr. Anita is, we live in an ecosystem where we need to create an equilibrium. That is, receiving has to be balanced with giving. So Rhonda also mentions in the book that before you receive, you must give. And that's what we spoke about in the last session as well. So what is your take on this?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank you, Deepa, for your knowledge and your wisdom and your learning and your willingness to share. And Meenu, thank you for the invitation. And I thought about when you spoke of the cells, and one thing I thought of was Agamemnon, the greatest miracle in the world, the God memorandum, how we have our atom cells, molecules, and tissues, billions of them. And as the stars are in the universe, so are the stars in us, we all have our own universe inside. And I thought of Tanya, bless her, when she said, I know nothing. The first thing I thought of was Socrates, when he said, of all the things that I know nothing. So for me, absolutely, there's an equilibrium and there's a balance in the universe. For me, gratitude, giving and receiving is organically one and the same. The polarity of it would be giving and receiving, the polarity, but there is no duality. There's only one. And it is in with the universal law. So it's organically, we have to give in order to receive. Giving is going to come naturally. That is the law of correspondence. What is within here is going to be reflected out there. That is the law of cause and effect. What I see, what I produce out here is what the cause was, my thought that became in here. It is the law of vibration, the measures of the energy. Are we resonating with shame or guilt or apathy, continuous grief, or even fear? And then during those low levels of vibes, or do we resonate and we go back and forth? I mean, that's the cycle of life. That's another thing, that is the cycle of life. There are going to be ups and downs. So the giving, we are always giving first. Giving goes first before we receive anything, because the giving comes from the thought. I give you my thought, I give you my energy, and it will come back in like return. So it is always giving, always is going to be giving. The measures, like I said, the measures of vibration, you know, the lower vibration is that confusion and that unclarity and that indecision. And then we can vibrate on that, resonate with that higher vibration of courage, of neutrality, of willingness, of acceptance, of reason. And then we go into the joy and then the love and the enlightenment. So we are always giving, because that is, we have dominion over our universe, your own universe, and we are connected. We are connected to the stars in the heaven. We are connected to each other. So we are always giving. It's like, when you go into a bank or something and you walk up to the teller and she's giving you a smile. Your energy went before you. She is only responding to your energy. So you have already given to her, and now she's responding to you in kind. Our thought is an idea. An idea, the universe, where there was darkness came to light. That is the idea of the creation, and that is the creation that is within us. So if the thought is an idea, and thought has content and intent, so the content is always the information and the material that is contained in our thought, and the intent is the reason I have this thought and what is my outcome. So giving and receiving doesn't necessarily have to be, it can be positive, it can be constructive negative, meaning protective, or it can be destructive negative. I'm going to give if my thought is of judgment. This is my intent, my content is to judge. If my thought is bitterness, if my thought is emptiness, then that is what I'm going to receive in like kind. If my thought, my intent, my content, if it is loving, if it is of compassion, if it is of sincere well wishes for everyone, then that is what I am going to receive in kind. We are always, there is no exception. We are always giving first, because it is the thought, the idea, the energy, because everything, like you said, Deepa, everything is energy. And energy comprises of frequency, how often we give out that. It comprises of the speed, how fast am I doing this? And it consists of the vibration, the levels of how I am giving that. So basically, our sphere of influence, which is what it's called, the sphere means my influence over my universe. The influence of, so that means I have authority. What I have out here before me is what I brought to me, and I gave out there first to attract, like the law of attraction, that energy. So we're always, it's like the sort of like deductive reasoning, if I then, well, whatever I give, I receive, and it's going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And I do want to mention the levels of vibration. I mentioned the grief and the joy that did come from Dr. David Hawkins in the Force versus Power versus Force book, a wonderful book. So that's my take on giving and receiving, is that we give all the time before we receive. And gratitude is knowing, being in that state of happiness, but also knowing, gratitude is knowing when I am down, I'm grateful because I can experience, I can be true to me. Yeah, I'm not feeling my best today, and that's okay. I'm grateful because I'm here to experience. I have feelings. Then when I'm feeling my joys, I'm grateful because I'm feeling my joys. And for me, gratitude is living life through rose-colored glasses. I learned that when I was a kid, and I stopped doing it because I let things influence me not to think that way. And now I've come back to it. And rose, what is the color of rose? Pink is the color of love. A rose has thorns. The thorns protect the rose. That's the same as challenges and obstacles do for us. It protects us. Challenges protect us from staying stuck, so that we can elevate, our soul can elevate to that next stage. So gratitude is it's not a symbol to me. It's not a definition, if you will. I mean, it's a many, 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 many things. It is a recognizing a being, and also to me, the more we experience the gratefulness, the gratitude. Like for me, now I have a prayer, and the prayer is, divine will be done. I pray to hear divine will. and have the courage to do divine will. So it's not about my visualization, it is about the vision of the divine, and the divine that is within me, that is connected with the universe, that is connected with everyone, so that we can all share and love and show love and just be, not think love, just be loved. And that's my take on gratitude.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And you know, when you speak about us living in a universe of polar opposites, and when you speak about give and take being basically, you know, they are polar opposites, but we realize that they are basically a part of a continuum. And you know, the give is on this side, the take is on this side, just as you know, grief is on this side and happiness is on that side. So without that duality, the universe really wouldn't exist. Now, when as an EFT practitioner, when we were just going through that, I just remembered when we do EFT tapping. So what we say is, we acknowledge what is happening in our life. That's what you said, that we should acknowledge whatever challenges we are facing. So when we tap, we say, even though
Yes.
even though this is so, yet I'm grateful for so and so.
Yes.
So when we do that, you know, we are shifting where we are on the continuum. Instead of going towards, you know, that the grief and the depression, we are shifting towards the side of happiness. When we're acknowledging all those beautiful, beautiful things that are happening in our life. And when we are doing that, even though, and yet, that means we are in a state of gratitude. And you know,
Absolutely.
gratitude is key. Gratitude is key.
There's latitude in gratitude.
Yes.
You know, I looked up, and first I have to say, I love the title, Holistic Wellness Through Gratitude. I said, you know what? I said, this title got it going on. I was like, this is a cool title. I even had to look, I said, gratitude, Holistic Wellness Through Gratitude. That title had me looking up the word through. Now, you know, don't we all know what through mean? I had to look up the word through. And what I found was that through, another word for through is channel. And I said, oh my God,
Yes.
Gratitude is the channel to
Absolutely.
holistic wellness. I said, go ahead on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're so right. And this is actually just one of the tools, I would say, because I believe, as in Ho'oponopono, we talk about forgiveness. So as a Ho'oponopono practitioner, all the time we are talking about, you know, repeating all those 4 statements where thank you is a part of it. At the end of the 4th statement is basically thank you. That is again, you know, gratitude. You see, these are the keys to abundance.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been doing, I call it a thankful, grateful journal. What I do is I write down 11 things at night, what I'm thankful for, what has already happened. I'm thankful for these things that happened during the day.
Wow.
Then I write down 6 things that I'm grateful for that I know what the universe is going to bring to me. And I always say I'm grateful that now I have this thing, and I write 6 of them. And then I also, you know, end with my way of saying amen and what my thankful. So yeah. Yeah, and you know, it really works deep on everyone. I'm gonna tell you, I don't do it all the time. I do it most times. And I'm gonna share with you, when I do not gratitude, if I don't gratitude journal for maybe 3 or 4 days, I can feel the shift of energy. I can feel it. I say, ooh, I gotta get back to my gratitude journaling. And then the energy shifts again. Yeah. So yeah, so absolutely, that is a thing to do.
That's wonderful. So now the next question that I would like to ask on behalf of the participants is, what message would you like to share with your viewers?
The message is simple, just like Tanya. The message is be happy. You know, be happy. And I don't mean be happy like happy all the time. Be happy and experiencing the joys of happiness, but also being happy to recognize that we have the courage to face those sadnesses, because that is going to happen. That's life. And then to have the wisdom to change the problems, change our challenges into learning. Because like Tanya said, every challenge, and Deepa, every challenge that comes our way, to me, is merely our soul saying, hey, I'm ready to move on. Hey, I'm ready to move on. I'm bringing this to you so we can get on about the business of going on about down this path up here. So that's, that's what challenge, there are opportunities for us to grow.
Yes.
To my message would be, learn, have fun. I am 64 years of age and I'm just loving, I'll be 65 the 29th this month. And my thing is, everything that I do, I am looking for fun. I'm looking for fun in it now, and enjoyment. Now, you can still have a challenge. You can still have enjoyment or challenge, fun in a challenge. It's just the way how we look at it, because we all have our own reality. My thing is, if my reality is that this thing is hard, I said, okay, if that's your reality, then change the reality. Now, there are some times that we may not, that the reality is to, like to Kenny Rogers, so know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to run, know when to you leave it alone. So that is when we know to learn how to know when to do that. My way of knowing when to learn how to leave it alone, because that is not for me, is to, if I'll try, because I'm a doer, boy, I'll work with it. So beautiful soul sisters, but if when it gets to a point, you're having fun, you're trying to, okay, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna see how I can flip it. How can I have fun with it? How can I have fun with it? How can I enjoy it? If it comes to a point that enjoyment and that fun is not coming, that's for me. My sign is that this is not for me. My sign is that that's your visualization. That's your personal want or desire. That may not be the vision of your divine. So that's how I assess, because a lot of times, we're I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, or what should I do? That's my take. That's my tell. If I can make it enjoyment, make some enjoyment out of it. If I can find some fun in it, I'm going to keep doing it. Once I no longer can do that, then I know that it's time for me to let it go. It's time. And also learning that sometimes too, sometimes also so beautiful. Sometimes put the book down. I mean, and I'm one thing, I'm getting that book. As soon as we're done, I'm gonna order that book. Sometimes we have to come to engage and embrace and entertain our thoughts, because that's how we talk about being authentic. In order to be authentic, we've got to know who we are, not repeating someone else's reality. We've got to know the difference between my reality, our personal reality, and the reality of what I've ingested, what I've absorbed. So sometimes it's learning and knowledge is a beautiful thing, and we want to keep doing that. It's just sometimes you want to take a moment, because your thought, your knowledge, your feminine, masculine energy inside, the understanding and the manifestation with the ideas and the knowledge, those are just as valuable, just as worthy, just as wise, sage wisdom, just as pure innocence as any book you will read, because the universe, the divinity, is also within you. So sometimes we just take a chill pill and say, okay, let me read my book, and then blend it with the others. So that's what I would take. Just take moments to get to know, I'm a Tap Into You founder. Tap into that beautiful, beautiful heart of you. Tap into it. The Egyptians, they say, the light is a feather. If your heart is light as the ancient Egyptians said, if your heart was lighter than a feather, then you went into the paradise, the heaven. Well, we live our heaven here, and just learn to live from the heart. There's a tantra that's part of the chakra that's associated with our base chakra, that root chakra, and that is the soul body. And that soul body is letting the heart rule the head. We're taught the head, be logical, be this, that. That's why you have so many classes on how to reach your intuition, how to do this, how. That's natural for us. Because we have to take classes on how to connect with our own intuition and trust it. That goes to show that we have been living in and that's okay. We have been living in a society, in a world that says, leave that intuition. You got to go by science. You got to go by fact. Your mind, you got to go by that. Well, our heart has mind too, and it is intuition, our inner tutelage, our inner teacher. And I just say, tap into beautiful you, because Lord have mercy, you're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You're bright sunshine and a star.
Such a beautiful, beautiful message from such a beautiful person. I mean, just hearing you, I mean, fills up my heart. And when you talk about having fun, it's all about creating your own reality, isn't it? It's about choosing, because as you said, we have been given dominion over all things. So we can choose what reality we create. So I'm sure all the viewers are going to be loving the message that you have given to them. And now I give this over to Meenu. Thank you once again.
Thank you. And I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Anita, for bringing so much of wisdom, pleasure while listening to you. And it was like, so many beautiful, melodious bells were ringing in the ears and knowing more and more about the practices of gratitude, the power of belief, the power of giving. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have one more very special guest with us, Miss Mary Lukasic Wallace. She has joined us from North America. Good evening, Mary from India. It's so nice to have you with us today. I am not able to see your screen. Can you put on your video, or I am not able to see her?
My video is on.
We can see her.
And others, they can see. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
So
Thank
nice to see you after such a long time.
I know.
How are you?
I am
How are
very
you?
well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate this opportunity. Speaking of gratitude, it's just wonderful to be in the company of amazing women from around the world. And it's just an honor to be here. I actually got a chance to download the book and read most of it. And I just really appreciate that. And the timing of it is always great. I wanted to start with Lao Tzu's quote that if you rejoice in the way things are, the whole world belongs to you. And I really believe that flourishing life comes from believing in this magic and the power of gratitude. And I've been very grateful in my life and have had so many things come to me. And it's not just by saying I have gratitude now, like it doesn't, it's that deeper inner feeling. And it comes from practice, from the moment that my feet touch the ground in the morning until I go to bed at night, and all those moments in between. And I heard Anita talking about that as a school teacher. I teach the kids the gift of one smile, right? Like you smile to this one person and that does expand, and then they take it home to their families and they take it home, and it just keeps growing and expanding. And I have an experiment where I walked into one of our stores here and I go, I'm just going to be joy all day long. And I started smiling. And before I walked into the store, this lady goes, you look really happy today. And so it just shows the power that Anita was talking about of me expending that energy and sharing that energy with her. She could feel it. And I just really believe that the love of my life and the relationships that I have are because I have gratitude. I really try every day to tell them how much I appreciate them and I love them, so that they feel that. So it's that act of feeling it in deeply into your bones. And that universal law, the scientific law, every action always has an opposite and equal reaction. Well, it's true, with gratitude. It's what goes around comes around, what you give and take. I know some very wonderful shamans who talk about what your energy goes where your focus goes, right? And here in the US, we have traffic lights, and some people can relate to this. We have these traffic lights, and I go, I got a red light, and it's, you get mad, and then you get more red lights, and then it doesn't really matter really, because you're going to get there sometime. It's just, that's a small thing. Or a bad day happens, and then you go, bad things happen in threes. No, don't say that. Don't put that out there. It's just that, no, it's a gift, and it truly is a gift. That red light might mean I need to pause for a moment. That bad day might mean, let's take a moment to really look at what's going on, and where have I not felt gratitude, or how can I appreciate, what's going on. And as a relationship coach, I practice working gratitude in relationships, and I know that it's helped those relationships grow and thrive, because we all need that nourishment back and forth between each other. So I thought I would share a couple of the practices that I do and some of the results, if that works for you guys. So one of them is, right when I wake up first thing in the morning, I start thinking of the people in my life, mostly the close people in my life, but I throw other people in there, and I just take each member of them and think of all the things that I love about them. Remind me of why they are in my life and how grateful I am for them. Remember why they are in my life, like my husband. What are the things I really love about him? And it's sort of like a bank account, like for me. So those things that come up that they do, those people in our lives that do those annoying things, right? And you go, okay, yes, the socks did not go into the hamper. Not a big deal. And I think what happens is, the more gratitude I feel for the people in my life, the less those things matter. And it's the bigger picture. Why do I love this person? And when things go bad, then that's also the bank account. Just, I can get through the tough times for that. And it's just also a reminder to them, when they're going through hard times, if I'm sharing how much I appreciate to them and for them, then they can remember it during those tough times too. They just know that someone cares. And I don't want to be that person that adds to their grief in the day. And that's kind of one thing that I really enjoy doing with them. And I tell them, I think it's great to feel it and to share it and write it down, but I think sometimes we forget to share that with them. And if I were to give any advice at all, it would be just tell people more often how much we appreciate them and the why we appreciate them. The other thing I do is, I call it magic. It's like the magic dust principle in the book. And when I walk into a room, I bless the people that are in the room. And even before I got on today, it's like throwing some real positive vibes, right? It lifts the energy of the room. It sends things out. So if anything's going on, they can feel that energy. And it just reciprocates. It just causes this beautiful wave, as just kind of like that smile principle we talked. And then the other one that really means a lot to me, and Anita pointed this out too, even those challenging situations where I just take a moment and say, what's going on here? Why did this go this way? What needs my attention? Where am I neglecting a moment of gratitude in there, where I've been ungrateful, and that this opportunity or this gift, as Anita called it, has showed up for me. And I know I can do hard things. And what happens, it builds my resiliency, but it also makes things easier and lighter. And when I fall, I don't fall as hard, right? I get back up, and it goes back to, I think Deepa said this, that duality of acknowledging, right? I acknowledge that this thing happened, and I'm giving it attention and time and love and energy. And so then I'm able to transform it or transmute that energy. So it's just a constant practice of, and that thank you is the bridge from where I am to where I want to be. And the more grateful then I am, then I can savor it and drink it up. In my business, I have the hummingbird, and it's because the hummingbird enjoys the sweet nectar of life. And it's just really enjoying all that I have, even the difficult stuff, and think of it as, a gift. And I just wanted to end that part with saying Tecumseh quote. He was an amazing Native American leader, where he said, when you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and strength. Give thanks for our food and the joy of living. And if you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies within yourself.
Yes.
So if I don't,
The fault lies within yourself. That's true.
I know, right? Like it's if things if I'm not feeling happy, I mean, that happiness and that thriving
Absolutely.
comes from being grateful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Very, very well explained, very, very well shared with all the viewers who are watching us, who will be watching us later. Thank you, Mary. Mary is a relationship and love coach. She's a founder of Mary's Gold, and she believes in dusting gold in everyone's life with her 25 years of experience, enriched experience. She believes in the power of gratitude. She believes in the power of giving and spreading charm, love, and helping people build harmonious relationships in their life.
Thank you.
So, Mari, is there any message you would like to give to our viewers today?
Yes, and it's very similar to Anita's, because I'm an interfaith reverend, and I had to take an oath, and I was writing this big long oath of how I want to live my life, and it all distilled to one thing: is how can I be love in this moment? So I made it a question for whenever things go wrong, or whenever things are difficult, or someone's screaming in my face, or how do I be love in this moment? And I use that as a moment to appreciate all the things that come into my life. And I think showering things with love and enveloping things with love brings me to that gratitude, because then I can see the beauty in everything. And just to savor, like Anita also was saying, the rose-colored glasses, and enjoying all the sweetness that life has to give. I know that's a long message, but how do I be loving in this moment, and how do I just enjoy the sweet nectar of life?
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And I'm sure the tools, tips, and so many beautiful incidents, learnings that have been shared during this session is amazing, and is definitely going to help each and everyone who's watching us, who will be watching this episode. This is amazing. This is full of the gratitude we have for life, for the people around us, for the things we have in our life. And this is just the way we think we have things around us. So it's all about the thought, that we are living, and the thought becomes the action. The thought brings the gratitude, the thought brings the love, beauty, and fulfillment in our lives. So thank you so very much to each one of you. My heartfelt gratitude and greetings from India to each and every soul sister who joined us today to make this session ever and ever beautiful and a learning experience, a closing session for all of us. We are overwhelmed. We are so happy to have all of you here. Ms. Deepa Bhatia ma'am, she took us through a long journey of 28 days. So first of all, I started the session with the gratitude to her, and I would love to end the session with gratitude to her for bringing these valuable practices to each one's life who attended it religiously, all the sessions of this journey. Thank you so much, Deepa Bhatia ma'am.
Thank you, Meenu, once again for giving this opportunity. And it was so wonderful to be here with people across the borders of India, and Dr. Anita, and Tanya, and Marie. Loved listening to each one of you all. And finally, we find out that gratitude is the same all over the world.
All over the world. All over the world.
It begins from the heart, and wearing rose-tinted glasses, and looking at the world with more positivity instead of dwelling on the negativities, which are plenty as well. So if we choose to focus on the plenty, what we are receiving from the infinite intelligence, then the world starts to change for us. In fact, our reality starts to change. We sort of put on the rose-colored glasses that Dr. Anita talks about, And isn't it a good idea to wear those rose-tinted glasses instead of wearing the dark glasses where you see nothing but depression and depravity in the world? I think that makes a difference, That makes a difference for us in the first step before we start to make a difference to the world. So thank you so much, and it was great to be with each one of you all. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you once again. So I understand gratitude is a way of life. Gratitude is something that we breathe in and we breathe out. The more we breathe in, the more we are relaxed, the more we are contented, and we are inhaling beauty, thankfulness, and the values of life, the beauty of life that God has given us. And the more we exhale, we are spreading positivity, we are giving thanks to the people in and around us. So gratitude is a way of life. Gratitude is a grace, as dear Tanya said, gratitude is grace. So with this hand-folded thanks to all of you, we'll be sending your certificates, appreciation certificates, that we are truly, truly thankful to you. We'll be sending your certificates through mail. Thank you for joining us. Once again, this is a beautiful platform that was more beautiful because of the people, lovely, lovely women who joined us today from across the world. We are so happy. We are so glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you.